So we've covered the ability to get data with GraphQL through the help of queries. But as compared to reading data from a backend, how do we write data to it? To change or mutate data within our application, we use a GraphQL operation called a mutation. We usually use the acronym CRUD to define the different ways of interacting with data within a standard application, where we can create data, read data, update data, and delete it. If queries cover the read part, mutations cover everything else, the ability to create new data, update existing data, and delete or remove data within our app. So at the moment, we've moved away from our Star Wars API, and this is because the API can really only query data, it can't change the Star Wars data. So we're using a different app, a different API, which uses a different IDE called the GraphQL Playground as compared to Graphical. And within this app, by working with this API, we can get and modify a list of babies' names. If we head over to the Schema tab on the far right, we can take a look at the list of queries. You can see that we just have this babies query, which returns a list of data of type baby. And then for mutations, you can see all of the ways that we can change this baby's data. We can create new data with this create baby mutation. We can change existing data with this upvote baby mutation. And we can remove data with this remove mutation. So mutations are defined very similarly to queries. The main difference is that they have to be prepended with the keyword mutation. We'll open up a set of curly braces like we did with queries, and then we need to provide the name of the mutation that we want to execute. So let's execute create baby, and if we click on this mutation, we see it has an argument called baby info. If we look at that type, we see that it's just an object that includes a name and a number of votes. So let's provide to create baby the baby info argument, and since that's an object, we'll open up a set of curly braces and pass in the name, let's say Fred, since it's of type string, and votes is of type integer, so we'll just pass in 1. Then after the name of the mutation and our arguments, we have to specify the subfields that we want back from the mutation when it resolves, if it resolves successfully. So if we look at the return value of create baby, we see it returns a baby type. So if we look at type details, we can see the object type baby consists of name and votes. So for our subfield, we can specify, once again, name and votes. And then we can hit the play button, and we see our created data. If we query again, we can't get the votes, or actually it returns a baby type, so it can. So we'll add votes here. We'll hit the play button again. And now we see, since we upvoted it, Fred's votes was changed to 2. Then to remove this object entirely, we can use the remove mutation. So we'll provide the name remove. Again, it looks like it just takes a name. That's the type of string and required. So to the name argument, we'll pass Fred, and it returns a baby. So once again, we'll get name and votes off of that, hit the play button, and it looks like it returns, instead of just the item that was removed, the entire list. And if we head to the end, we see that Fred's no longer there.